Good morning student, class 11. Student, I hope you are enjoying the video lecture and the chapter which is running is circulatory system, that means body fluid and circulation. In last class we were studying about the topic that is related to the structure of heart and function of heart. Now today we will discussing the topic related to this chapter is cardiac cycle and blood circulation. So first of all, let us start the cardiac cycle and the terms which are related to the cardiac cycle. Students, cardiac cycle is actually the events which takes place during heartbeat. A single and complete heartbeat involving number of events which are collectively called cardiac cycle. Thus, the definition of the cycle is actually the sequence of events, the sequences of events that occurs during one heartbeat. The sequence that occurs during one heartbeat is called cardiac cycle. So you see that, students, cardiac cycle is the number of events that occurs during a single heartbeat. एक सिंगल हार्टबीट में जो इवेंट्स होते हैं उन्हीं को हम लोग कार्डियक साइकिल, दैट मीन्स इट इज द साइक्लिक फंक्शन. नंबर ऑफ इवेंट्स विच आर रिपीटेड ड्यूरिंग अ साइक्लिक function is actually called cardiac cycle, which involve alternate contraction and relaxation. It involve alternate contraction and relaxation. Alternate contraction, which is called systole, and relaxation called diastole. तो स्टूडेंट्स, आपने देखा कि ये एक अल्टरनेट कॉन्ट्रैक्शन एंड रिलैक्सेशन का फंक्शन है, जिसमें कॉन्ट्रैक्शन का जो टर्म है इसको हम लोग सिस्टोल बोलते हैं, जिस समय हार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है, एंड रिलैक्सेशन इज द टर्म इज कॉल्ड डायस्टोल, जिस समय हार्ट रिलैक्स होता है. तो ड्यूरिंग पंपिंग ऑफ हार्ट बोथ दिस अल्टरनेट फंक्शंस आर साइमल्टेनियसली टेक्स प्लेस and rhythmically the heart is pumped, which is involving both these type of function, that means contraction and relaxation, or in terms of another term systole and diastole. A complete heartbeat involve both these events, that is contraction and relaxation. The cardiac cycle actually, स्टूडेंट, अगर कार्डियक साइकिल की बात करें तो कार्डियक साइकिल is involving 3 phases. It involving 3 phases. 3 phases इसमें प्रेजेंट हैं स्टूडेंट्स. नंबर 1 एट्रियल फेज या एट्रियल फेज जिसको आप बोलेंगे. नंबर 1 फेज एट्रियल फेज. नंबर 2 फेज वेंट्रिकुलर सिस्टोल. ventricular systole. एंड नंबर 3 की अगर बात करेंगे स्टूडेंट्स तो नंबर 3 इज ज्वाइंट डायस्टोल और ज्वाइंट डायस्टोल इज नंबर 3 इवेंट which are collectively termed as cardiac cycle. These 3 events, that is atrial phase, ventricular phase or ventricular systole and joint diastole, are involving in a cardiac cycle. Students, if you see the cardiac cycle, then these 3 terms which are involved during this phenomena take some definite time duration which shown by a representative diagram. So students, एक डायग्राम हम ड्रॉ करने चल रहे हैं. उसको देख के हम लोग को ये एक आइडिया लगेगा स्टूडेंट्स कि ये तीनों फेज जो हैं वो कितना टाइम ड्यूरेशन लेती हैं. तो देखिए डायग्राम. Now student, this is the representative diagram of cardiac cycle which represent the complete cardiac diastole which take 0.4 second and articular systole 0.1 second articular systole. And this is the ventricular systole which also takes 0.3 second. So these 3 events are taking place during the complete cardiac cycle. These phases, arterial phase, ventricular systole and joint diastole, are involving in the cardiac cycle. Now students, arterial phase is the phase which involve simultaneous contraction of arteria. It involve simultaneous contraction of atria. एट्रिया का कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इसमें होता है स्टूडेंट. साइमल्टेनियस कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ एट्रिया which feeds blood to respect ventricle. Arterial systole is due to action potential generated by SA node. SA node में जो action potential generate होता है स्टूडेंट्स, उसकी वजह से ये फिनोमेना arterial pressure या arterial phase जो होती है ये उस फंक्शन की वजह से कॉज होती है स्टूडेंट्स, जिसमें ऐसे नोड में एक्शन पोटेंशियल जनरेट होता है. इट इंक्रीजेज द ब्लड फ्लो इन वेंट्रिकल बाय अबाउट 30%. ब्लड फ्लो का इंक्रीज जो वेंट्रिकल के अंदर ब्लड फ्लो इंक्रीज होता है, ये इस इवेंट की वजह से एट्रियल फेज की वजह से वेंट्रिकुलर जो ब्लड का फ्लो है वो बढ़ता है स्टूडेंट्स. And 30% about ventricle filling during this phase, which also responsible for relaxation of ventricle. Arterial phase also responsible for relaxation of ventricle. Students, the second phase, which is ventricular systole. Ventricular systole is what? It involves simultaneous relaxation of atria. Simultaneous relaxation of atria. फर्स्ट फेज में एट्रियल फेज में आप देख रहे हैं साइमल्टेनियस कॉन्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ एट्रिया है, एंड सेकेंड फेज वेंट्रिकुलर सिस्टोल में साइमल्टेनियस रिलैक्सेशन ऑफ एट्रिया. दिस रिलैक्सेशन इज एक्चुअली arterial diastole and contraction of ventricle and contraction of ventricle. तो ventricular systole also involving relaxation of atria and contraction of ventricle. Relaxation of atria, that means arterial diastole, and contraction of ventricle, that means ventricular systole. Both these phenomena which takes place during this mechanism is ventricular systole. Now the third is joint diastole. What is joint diastole? Joint diastole is complete cardiac diastole. Is also called complete cardiac diastole. It is complete cardiac diastole which called joint diastole. This phase is actually involving in both these contraction and relaxation, which is responsible for joining of these mechanism, that is joint diastole, which is intermediate phase. So students, you see that cardiac cycle involving 3 phases, that means arterial phase, ventricular systole, and joint diastole. Now blood circulation, students, blood circulation, students, it have 2 phases. You already know about this: systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. Systemic circulation involve circulation of blood in between heart and body, and pulmonary circulation involve circulation of blood in between lungs and heart. तो स्टूडेंट्स, ये 2 टाइप का सर्कुलेशन है, सिस्टमिक सर्कुलेशन एंड पल्मोनरी सर्कुलेशन. सिस्टमिक सर्कुलेशन इन्वॉल्व सर्कुलेशन ऑफ ब्लड इन बिटवीन हार्ट एंड बॉडी, whereas pulmonary circulation involve between lungs and heart. So this circulation is taking place for the purpose of purification of blood. This phase takes place for the purpose of purification of blood, and this phase is for distribution of nutrients and oxygen. Distribution of nutrients and oxygen. So this is all about cardiac cycle and blood circulation. Students, in next class we will discuss some more information about this chapter that include blood pressure and cardiac output. Students, from this you were already known that human heart is characterized by double circulation which involves systemic circulation and pulmonary circulation. Systemic circulation takes place for the distribution of nutrients and oxygen, whereas pulmonary circulation takes place for the purification of blood. So both these circulation is collectively termed as double circulation, which is characterized by 4-chambered heart और partially divided 3-chambered heart. तो स्टूडेंट्स ये आपने देखा. नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम लोग नेक्स्ट टॉपिक के साथ मिलेंगे. ओके, थैंक यू.